Previously on the Troubled Tables.
All of you have chosen to flee to the neighboring lands of Torellia. As you get close to investigate these statues, they are eerily lifelike. And as you come to a stop, in the muck in front of you is a giant 2-foot wide footprint.
Isaac looks with interest at this black sludge. I want to take a sample of it.
And as you move your hand close to it, this slime reaches out and it grabs onto your index finger and your thumb. It squeezes for a second and then it goes limp. Look, I'd hate to admit this, but we're not going to get any further unless we let the horses rest for the night. I know this isn't anyone's idea of comfort, but another day on the road and we'll find warm beds yet. Let's set up camp, gather whatever strength we have left, and hold out for the night.
Okay.
You guys unpack the caravans and set up a small camp in the Pale Reek near a large stone cliffside that provides not only shelter from the harsh winds from the mountain, but also a nice defensive position should any animals of the swamp seek to try and make an easy meal out of the sick in your camp. As you guys set up camp, you can see various members of your caravan going about different tasks. You can see Sen, the half-orc, examining the road for signs of any people who might have come through the area. You can see Delilah removing something from trees that hang in the swamp. You can see the old woman Lenora bundled up near the campfire, kind of mumbling to herself about the discomfort she's in. You can see Lessa and her mom tending to the sick and providing medicine in any way they can. And you can see Sarge going over supplies with a couple of the mercenaries that he's hired. It's about 9 o'clock at night, so it's getting quite dark.
Kako is going to go up to the half-orc man and just be like, "Excuse me, the toothy one, would you like to come with me and set up the noisemakers in the forest?"
Yes, I see a lot of strange tracks through the area. I think it would be best if we can provide ourselves whatever comfort we can should an attack come so we can be ready for it.
Yes.
He nods to you and follows you off into the woods to set up noise traps. You're just setting them up around the caravan area.
Yeah, good like 30-meter radius.
Cool. Yeah, you set up these traps with various tripwires around the camp to let you know should anything come through the woods that you'll be ready for it.
I'm gonna go over to... Who is helping with, like, the medicine again? Treat the people?
It's Lessa and her mother.
I head over to Lessa and I hold out my fist for a secret, not secret handshake.
As you come over, she bumps her fists and sparkles fly out as she casts
Nice.
prestidigitation.
Glad we have that bond. Is there anything I can do to help pass out medicine with the people? I mean, I could play a tune, but I'm sure that maybe they want actual medicine.
She kind of like rubs the back of her neck. She's like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't play music and just let them rest. I
could still play something though.
No, I think they're okay.
Oh,
But
maybe later.
Maybe. If you could be a deer, there are...
Well, I don't know polymorph, but I can definitely try.
God.
I can definitely try my best.
Stop. I didn't mean literally be a deer.
Oh.
I meant, if you could be so kind, I believe that there should be a mushroom that grows in the swamp that might be able to help with the cough if we can make a poultice out of it.
Oh, all right, cool. All right. Now, I've come by a couple of shrooms in my day, but I just need to know, since the, fey shrooms look a little bit different than, like your shrooms, what does this shroom look like?
She begins to go into detail about this mushroom. Well, you're going to be looking for a mushroom with a tall stalk. It's going to have a brown mushroom cap and bright red spots on it. Now, you want to be careful because there's another mushroom that grows in this swamp that also has a brown mushroom cap. No, but it will kill you if you eat it.
Oh, all right.
It's a brown mushroom top, but the spots are crimson, so be careful of that one.
Sure. All right, I'll go look out for this spotted mushroom. Gotcha. And I kind of grab a couple of my things and head off into the swamp.
So you head off into the direction of the swamp, but before you can make it outside of camp, you are stopped by Delilah.
What's up, girl?
Are you going out there?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's no big deal or anything, but I can handle myself, so I'm going out.
Well,
looking for shrooms. You want to come with?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna stay here in camp. You should be careful out there. I don't trust this place. I found this, and she holds up a small wooden ornament that was hanging from one of the trees, and it appears to be like a human effigy made out of sticks, but it's hanging from the tree by a piece of twine.
I think you could work on your craftsmanship a little bit more, but other than that,
She says,
like,
"No, you
looks really
fool!
good.
I didn't make this. I found it. I found it.
Whoa.
I didn't make it. I found it.
Let's just tone it down a little bit.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I found it. I didn't make it."
All right. Well, okay. Let's just calm down for a second. Can I see it?
She actually hands it to you. She's like, "I don't want the thing."
Can I look it over and see?
Yeah, I mean,
if there's anything unusual about it.
I mean, the whole thing's unusual just by looking at it. It's basically like a stick figure, literally made out of sticks, and it is hanging from the trees.
Sorry, what was the name of these woods again? Is it the
you're
Blair
telling me-
Woods?
Is
No,
it all
it's the
sticky?
Pale Reek.
Am I like?
It's
Blair Woods.
sticky.
It's not sticky.
Well, is it sticky or sticky?
It's sticky, but not sticky.
I want to die.
It's sticky.
For our non-native English listeners.
It's sticky as in it's made out of sticks, but not sticky as in it's sticky to the touch.
Okay.
Nico
Damn
has
it.
just killed himself.
I was enjoying the ambiguity.
Bye.
I'm gonna hold on to this still. Why don't you head back and go talk to Lessa's mother? Make sure everybody's getting some medicine, and I gotta go look for these mushrooms that could help some of the sick. But I will keep an eye out for more artsmanship like this because, I mean,
Artsmanship.
She kind of sighs and she says, "Just be careful." And walks back. She says, "I'll do my best to help."
All
and
right.
Heads back.
appreciate it.
She went from being like a really pleasant person to I'm
I
sick of
know.
your shit.
I think, is that partially Mike just tired of me? Okay, no, she actually got sick of me that quick. That's fair.
Isaac is going to go take a look at the supplies and just try to see if there's anything he can do, like help pass them out or...
You walk over to Sarge, who is going over the supplies, and he has kind of a worried look on his face as you get closer to him, and you overhear him saying to one of the guards, "If we don't fix this, there's a chance our sick might not make it to the next town.
Isaac kind of clears his throat. What's going on, Sarge?
I trust you can keep a secret."
You're already keeping one of mine. I think it's only fair that I return the favor.
"Fair enough, I suppose." He points to one of the casks in the back of the supply caravan, and you can see just by looking at it, it's got a big crack. It looks like from the cold, one of the casks cracked open, was holding most of our water in it. I don't know that our horses and our people will be able to make it to the next town if we don't get water. Could walk, but it's a 3-day walk, and that's in one direction. I fear most of them would be dead by the time we made it.
This swamp water, it's not going to be something I could... It's going to have like a bunch of other shit in there. Like I couldn't reasonably purify it. with
No,
what I have.
it's mostly filled with like muck. There's no way to filter it out. Muck.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Ditto.
Oh no. Subvert expectations.
Well, this water has to be coming from somewhere. Would we know of like a fresh water source that runs through this area?
He unfolds his map. He's like, "You might be onto something. Most of the Pale Reek is uncharted. No one comes through here unless they really need to make a shortcut to the next village. But there is a river that runs down the Shalarim Mountains and comes out the other end. It could be that this river runs straight through the Pale Reek, but I have no idea of knowing in which direction it could be."
Isaac takes the map from him and looks it over carefully. It clearly starts from one end and goes through...
Yes.
You said this area is not charted,
Right.
Okay. But you can see like where the river starts in one end and comes out the other?
Yeah.
Could you reasonably extrapolate somewhere that we think it could be?
You could, but you have no way of knowing like which way the river bends and how far in what direction.
Yeah. I gesture the map at Sarge. Do you mind if I take this for a second?
Keep it safe. It's the only one we have, and we need it to navigate the rest of the trip.
Isaac nods and rolls it up, tucks it away in one of his pockets, and pats it. This won't come out of my sight. I want to go track down Kako.
Kako, at this point, you and Sen have returned from setting up traps in the woods. Sen has returned to leaning against a tree near the border of the camp. He has a crossbow in his hands, and it appears that he's keeping watch over the surrounding area. And that's when Isaac comes up and approaches you.
Hello, not cleric man.
I have a name.
I know, I forgot it.
It's Isaac.
What would you like, Isaac?
He shakes his head and pulls the map out of his pocket. He unfurls it and kind of shows you where the river starts and where it ends at the other end of it. Using your keen intuition, where would you think this river runs through this area?
Oh, of course I know where it is. Do I know where it is?
Not by just looking at the map, but if you were out in the swamp, just based on what you know about the areas, like track it down.
Okay. Yes, I can know where this is.
As it kind of
Let's
squints at
go!
you. Was that a yes or a no?
Onward.
Oh, okay.
Kako leaves.
Yeah, before you go, you gather up a metal jug to carry some of this water back in and head off into the direction that Kako was running in. Kako, I need you to make a survival check for me.
Okay. It's an 18.
So you, just by your experience out in like the woods and the wilderness, you're able to track down the direction of where swamp plants are growing and roughly intuit based on that and based on the map, what direction this river might cross in. And you head out into the woods with Isaac in tow. Wiz, you are just walking through the swamp. You are by yourself.
I'm singing through the swamp.
Are you playing your Saturn?
I am. I'm just kind of singing about shrooms and how great they are, and finding them would be awesome to help heal the sick. I just want to... Can I make a survival check to find some shrooms?
Yeah, I want you to roll it with disadvantage, though, because you kind of are just walking out into those woods with no real plan, and you're distracted by your singing.
This is
Classic Wiz.
classic Wiz right here. I mean, I made him like this, but 8.
With disadvantage?
5.
Yeah, so you are kind of just like aimlessly walking around. You hear several swamp sounds as you play your music. You can hear the bubbling of the muck as the bubbles explode and gases secrete from it. You can see wildlife of the swamp, a couple alligators off in the distance, just watch you walk past them. And eventually, by some pure luck, stumble upon what appeared to have been mushrooms growing at the base of a large tree. However, you can only see the stalks. The caps are missing.
Well, I have no idea if these are the mushrooms I was looking for. I mean, they're kind of tall, but can I, like, pick up the stump?
Yeah, you pull the stump out of the ground.
Yeah, this should work. And I pocket it.
Yeah, you pocket the stalk of this mushroom.
Close enough. And I keep walking around, making sure, like, I get a bunch of these empty stalks that I just find around the forest.
Yeah, you keep walking, and every time you think you stumbled across the right place, you find more of these stalks, but none of the mushroom caps. It looks like someone has ripped them off before you.
Can we hear
Is it
him?
pretty fresh?
Make a survival check.
Ooh, that's a 22.
You look around, and you can see what appear to be fresh footprints in the muck. Probably not more than a couple hours old.
All right, I'm gonna follow the footprints while also singing a song about how I may have found a new friend.
You slowly make your way through the swamp, singing about this new friend you possibly could have made, this unknown swamp man or woman, and push further and further into the swamp and further away from
these
camp.
footprints don't have 3 toes in it, do they?
No, these are like normal humanoid-sized footprints. These aren't like
Okay.
big 2-foot,
All right.
3-toed footprints.
I was just making sure they weren't the ones we saw before.
No.
Okay.
Kako and Isaac, you are able to make your way through the swamp with relative ease thanks to Kako's survival skills.
You're welcome.
You can see fresh footprints that you deduce is the direction that Wiz was headed in, but more importantly, as you push forward, you hear Wiz singing and playing his instrument rather loudly through the swamp, and it kind of echoes through the trees, disturbing the wildlife around you.
I'm just going to go ahead and shout, Waze man! Waze!
Oh, Kako, hello?
Stop fucking singing!
What do you want? You want what you say?
Stop singing!
I send a message to Kako directly to his line. Hey, what you want?
Stop fucking singing.
Oh.
You will alert all of the weird monster things.
No, there's not a weird monster. There's just a mushroom guy that's walking around.
Well, no, there is also a weird monster thing in the forest.
Are you sure? I haven't seen any.
Okay, look, we need to be in group, not in two group.
Okay, I'm casting this message too much. I'm gonna keep walking in your direction until I meet up with you.
You guys eventually are able to locate each other through the woods.
What's up? I'm okay. Looks like you haven't been eaten
Some
by
trees?
this quote-unquote monster. Or is it just quote-unquote your
Wait,
bad vibes?
you guys found a monster?
We all saw the big footprint with the 3 toes.
Yeah, I didn't
that
see him
may
out
or
here,
may
though.
not have turned some people into stone.
Yeah, no, I just saw some human footprints and some missing mushrooms.
You
so
think
we've got a
the fact
case.
that you have not seen the big monster that we know is here is reason
out
to
of
be.
sight, out of mind, you know? I just
We're going to get water. Would you like to come?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I could use a drink.
What are you doing out here?
I would pull out the empty mushroom stalks.
Somehow I am not surprised.
What
What are you gonna do with those?
Don't
Snacking.
ask the questions we do not want the answers to.
But
You
I
wanna
do
try one?
want the answer to
I
it.
certainly do not. Can I do a survival check on these mushrooms to see what the fuck they are?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a 19.
Looking at these stalks, they appear to be the stalks of the mushrooms with the brown toadstools with bright red spots. But
Do you mean the incredibly poisonous ones?
no, that would be the crimson spots.
Oh, okay.
Bright red, you're not dead. Crimson, you really shouldn't have eaten that.
That's easy to remember.
It's everyone around here knows that.
Yeah,
that
ancient
folk.
D&D proverb.
You guys continue to press forward, and interestingly, the path to the water that he is tracking is also going in the direction of the footprints you were tracking, as if they were coming from the same direction.
These are the footprints I was following earlier, man.
The what?
The footprints. They're humanoid footprints, though.
I look down and notice the footprints for the first time.
You're a
Oh.
bad tracker.
Look, a true tracker is focused on one thing, and that is tracking the one thing.
Oh my god, Wiz, I've been following this person around for like the last 20 minutes.
I'm a better tracker than the guy whose job is tracking. I'll play a song, though, about trackers. They only follow one thing.
You guys are pushing forward, and Kako, eventually you can hear the rushing of water as it appears that the river is not far up ahead. And as you get close to it, the fog kind of clears out of the area, and you find yourself standing on a riverbank in front of a large boulder that is situated at the side of this riverbank.
Now I have done the tracking. Now you go and do the filling and carrying of the heavy water.
Isaac shakes his head, goes to dip the vessel in the water. You couldn't have phrased that differently.
I think he's doing his best, man. I mean, like, he couldn't even track one set of footprints. I mean, I just don't.
But you're right.
Speaking of tracking footprints, the footprints that you were following to find your mushroom thief disappear at the edge of this giant boulder. And you can see several more sets of these same footprints coming and going, but disappearing at the edge of this rock.
I look up.
There is nothing above you. A couple of dead trees with some debris hanging from the branches, but
Maybe
there's,
they
like,
could
no
fly.
people.
I can fly.
Oh.
You can fly?
Yeah, I can fly.
Like hover or fly?
I start hovering, but I can also fly too.
Isaac's also very envious.
I'm gonna look around this boulder for a second. There's nothing weird about this boulder in particular.
Make an investigation check.
It's 15.
So as you take a closer look at this boulder, there is something weird. You can see the plants that grow around this boulder just stop. Not like they stopped growing, but almost as if they're cut off by some invisible force. Like where a flower might grow, half of it is missing.
I hear the ancient ones called this the clipping.
I'm gonna stop levitating for a second, and I'm gonna put my feet on the ground, and I'm gonna try to push this boulder.
Make a strength check for me.
Oh, hot dog, -1, let's go. It's a 17.
You push this boulder with all your strength, both hands on it, and you push and struggle, and you fall. And you don't fall
Oh.
down, you fall through the boulder and
Oh.
tumble onto the other side.
I thought you said you were weak.
Well, apparently my physical form is weak. Also, can you hear me? Can I hear you through this rock?
You cannot hear. Your party goes quiet. You don't hear anything from them, and you are in a clearing, sitting at the edge of this river. Except instead of a large boulder being there, there's a small hut instead.
Well, that's peculiar. And I'm gonna step back through the rock, and like I'm gonna just take one step back and see if I can go back through.
You push against this force field and step through the rock and reappear on the other side. And in the span of a couple seconds, Kako and Isaac, you see Wiz phase through this rock and then phase back out.
Wiz, are you a ghost?
You know,
Have you
I
been a
do
ghost
have the
this whole
complexion
time?
of a spirit, but I'm more of like a free spirit. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
I would like
We'll
you
work
to.
on it.
I would like you to be very succinct about what you actually are, real quick.
No, he's not a ghost.
What do you
He's,
think I am?
You would know what Wiz is. With like Ganassi, while they are rare, they are not like unheard of. Genies like to come to this world all the time and get it on.
What do you think I am?
I don't know. I put hand through boulder.
Yeah, you touch this boulder, and with a little effort, your hand phases through it.
You are not a ghost for now.
I told you I'm a free
Ominous.
spirit. I'm not a ghost.
I go through the boulder.
Yeah, you step through this boulder and you find yourself in the same clearing I described earlier, and you can see this hut sitting on the river bed. You can see candles in the windows as it's lit up. The front door is slightly ajar, and there are nets off the side of the deck that look to be used for gathering fish that swim up the river.
Does everybody join me?
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming back. Isaac, you should get in here too. Let's all get in this boulder and have a good old party.
Isaac shoulders the vessel of water he's holding and cautiously steps through this
Listen,
boulder.
they're not dying or anything. We can wait a little bit. Right now, at least. I mean, okay, let's be real.
He more wants to know why this illusion's here.
The men of gentleness, this, in my professional opinion, is at least more than likely the home of a witch. We should prepare to fight the witch.
Now, what is a witch?
The witch is the bad person who eats the baby.
Or maybe we
I-
just leave before we're noticed and not risk our safety and everyone else's.
Should I
That is
minor-
not an option.
Should I? Okay, so if things go south, I should minor illusion a baby and like throw it out there.
Have you read my book?
No, but I mean, I'd love to if I could read.
Yes, chapter 5 of how to deal
If
with
you
witches.
could read?
Well, what is it written in your book? Is it written in common? I highly doubt it is.
I'm gonna retcon that's been written in Dwarvish because I gave it to. Okay, yeah.
But if you tell me what's in your book, I mean, maybe we could.
Well, yes, page 35 includes the fake
Okay.
baby throwing strategy.
It comes out on Audible.
Whoa.
What are we doing with this hut?
I'm gonna draw my javelin and I'm going to approach hut and then do the kicking of the door inward.
I'm gonna take off my cittern and hold it up like a club.
This is a terrible idea.
Get ready to splash it with water.
Yes, that is on page 17.
Isaac's gonna keep watch outside.
You stand outside the hut and keep watch over your companions as Kako and Wiz. Kako, you kick the door down and fulling it open, and as it slams against the wall, shaking the whole hut, it's empty. You see pots of herbs and different like receptacles for different medicinal items. You can see a cozy little bed tucked in the corner with a small reading nook, and then you can see another doorway that leads out to the deck area where the fish are being caught, but nothing else in this room.
Usually the witch has more like blood and stuff. This is probably just a weirdo.
Then we cut to somewhere else in the swamp. As we do, who do we see?
So you see Sookla. She is so tall, close to 7 feet. She's so frail looking. She has long white hair and her pale skin is opalescent. There could be gills on her throat, or it could be a trick of the light. Her eyes are stark white. There's no discernible difference between her pupil and iris. Her clothes give the sense that she would rather be wearing nothing. Around her arm is a small copperhead snake. She is beautiful and she is terrifying because she's a siren.
You have lived in this swamp for almost your entire life, and you've called it home for just as long. And on this particular stroll through your home, you've been out collecting medicinal items for the townsfolk who visit your hut in the swamp. However, this night is unlike your previous walks through the swamp, as you have visitors, but not visitors from the nearby village. But you stumble across a caravan of weary travelers resting for the night on the edge of the swamp near the mountains. And they look sick and tired and weary from their long journey. It appears that they've been on the road for a long time.
I look down at my little copperhead pet and I say, "It's no bother, Ophelia. We'll either have clients or we won't. If they find us, we'll help them. But we might as well just go home."
And as you have that thought, you detect that the wards you set up around your hut have been tripped, and someone has stumbled into your abode. Whether it's an animal or an explorer, or maybe one of the natives who calls the swamp home, you're unsure.
Well, it better not be any of them wildlands.
You make your way with haste back to your hut, and as you arrive at the boulder shroud that covers it, you step through the boulder, and on the other side, you see a high elf kick your door in, while a air ganassi stands behind him, wielding a cittern like a club. And then off in the distance, standing next to a jug of water, you see a human man keeping watch over his companions as they go into the hut.
Well, Ophelia, this'll be fun. And I walk quickly towards my house. What'll it be today? Love potion, curse for your scorned love, a poultice for too much love, bard.
You guys are kind of taken aback as this voice comes from behind you after you've kicked this door open. And Isaac, you're the first to notice this siren swamp witch step through the
Have
veil.
I ever seen a siren before, or do I know what one is?
No.
Have I
Isaac-
seen a siren before?
I've probably seen a siren.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kako, you know what a siren is.
I exit the hut.
Isaac kind of looks at you in wonder and disbelief. Is this your home?
Excuse me, are you a witch?
Yes and yes. And most people who come to see me already know that, so how can I help you?
Are you the one that eat the baby, or are you the misunderstood weird woman?
Kako, that's kind of insensitive.
Little column A, little column B.
No column A, no column B. I don't recall ever eating a baby, but I've been alive a long time. It's possible, but not recently.
You're not currently in the practice of eating the baby?
No.
Okay.
Do you eat babies?
No.
I just figure since we're prying into each other's personal lives and I don't even know who you are, how can I help you?
Oh, we were looking for the water and we found your weird knot rock.
You throw the word weird around often.
Weird.
Wow, deep.
Did you need charms, potions? Are you lost? Can I direct you back through the boulder?
I mean, I'll go anywhere, but I was looking for like these
We know
shrooms.
you'll go anywhere. Isaac, this lady is...
I've seen a lot of strange things, but I've never seen anything quite this extraordinary.
Yes.
This coming from the person who didn't know what a dog was, though.
Isaac Wizman, this lady is of a people who seduce and eat weird sailors in the ocean.
Oh.
That is a different
But-
kind of siren. Yeah, I've pushed past them into my home. I'm checking to see if they've taken anything.
You guys didn't have a chance to grab
No,
it.
I'm looking for shrooms.
As most people of your disposition are. What kind?
Whoa, man. I mean, I feel like that's pretty judgy. I'm just trying to have a good time and save some of my
Yeah,
friends.
that's what I said. Trying to have a good time. Usually looking for hallucinogenics. What kind of mushrooms are you looking for?
No, not the. I do partake. Not those kind of hallucinogenic. Listen, they're way better in the Fae. I wouldn't stoop to this level. Okay. Anyway, I'm looking for some kind of shrooms. They got these red dots on them, long. I pull out some of the stalks. They kind of look they would have come from this thing.
I go to my cupboards and I pull out 3 different mushroom head caps. Did you
Which
need?
one?
Did you need red dots, scarlet dots, or crimson dots? Cure, seduce, murder.
Ooh, can I have seduce and cure? I had a little bit of murder. I'm just gonna let's just throw it all in, but make sure they're in like labeled baggies, so I know.
Just write in a Ziploc. Right? Why you can write with Sharpie on it? It's fine.
Murder, seduce. Let's just really not get them mixed up. How do you tell the difference?
Red, crimson, red, scarlet, crimson.
Oh yeah.
Damn. Wait. Hang on a second.
Make
Yeah.
a
No.
survival check.
Oh damn it! We're gonna kill all the people back at camp.
It's an 11.
You get briefly mixed up, but you're able to determine which is which just by how you had them sorted.
No, wait.
Okay.
Hang on. I've been dealing with the murder mushrooms for at least 40 years. Here. Medicine is what I assume you actually need.
Cool.
How many?
Gotcha. I mean, Probably. How many people are really in our caravan? Like 30?
Well, then like 5
30.
of them matter though.
Okay, well they're 1 silver apiece.
30 silver.
So 3 gold.
Did you still want one of the seduction mushrooms?
Yes, actually I do.
All right, that is 2 gold.
I'm gonna hide my transaction from Isaac and Kako, but it's really not hidden at all.
I'll
Do
put,
we notice?
Yeah, she said she wasn't trying to hide it. So
Okay.
yeah, you guys
It's-
noticed.
Maybe you should come back to us at camp because I am not going to remember this. Like, I'm really.
Okay, well here, I put 30 of the medicine red dot mushrooms.
I need everyone to make a perception check.
I had a 16.
Sukala had a 19.
Isaac had a 7.
20.
Okay, show
I
off.
really can't do past 22.
Sukala, Wiz, and Kako, you hear a twig snap and it echoes throughout the whole area. As you hear this snap, you see a set of 4 men walk through the veil, and they are dressed in similar attire to what you saw the statues wearing on the outside of the swamp. Lots of sticks and leather and armor made of antlers. However, these are pretty unarmored individuals, as it appears that they are mostly scouts.
Are these more friends of yours or like what?
Do they eat the baby?
We found the witch. We'll soon be able to sacrifice her to the Lord of Stone.
Can't say they don't, but they're here to kill me.
Oh,
that's
not great.
These are the wildlands. I'm gonna go beat them up because
Okay.
they want me dead.
You
so
want some help?
either run or help. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
You'll all be judged by the Lord of Stone.
Oh.
Tell you what, let me not get sacrificed. I'll come back and help your friends.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds like
hey,
a good
I'm
deal.
gonna pull out the little stick voodoo doll that Delilah gave me, and I'm gonna yuck at one of them, and I'm like, "Be gone!"
Away with you!
You yeet this human effigy.
Where did you get that? Where did you get that?
Back towards the direction of the wildlings. It lands on the ground near their feet. You have disturbed our symbols. You are corrupt, and the Lord of Stone shall cleanse you.
Well, even if we didn't make a deal, you're in it now. So, buckle up.
Everyone, roll initiative.
Nat 20.
Kako?
It was a 2.
I had a 12.
14?
These wildlings all draw their weapons as they get ready to try and kidnap you and bring you back to the Lord of Stone. One of them draws a sword, the other one draws a dagger, and then the 2 in the back draw a set of bow and arrows that they ready to fire in your direction. They stand about 30 feet away from you, and they're all within range of an attack if you guys ran up and hit them. First up in the initiative order is Sookla.
So, Bow Boy on the left. I am going to cast Phantasmal Killer. You tap into the nightmares of a creature you can see within range and create a manifestation of its deepest fears, visible only to that creature. Target must make a wisdom saving throw. If he fails, he becomes frightened for the duration, and then at the end of each of his turn, before the spell ends, he needs to make another wisdom saving throw, otherwise he'll take damage.
You target this wildling with the bow in the back who has drawn his weapon and pointed it in your direction, and he fails the save. You see fear wash over his face. He begins to claw at his stick armor and begin to babble incoherently. No, I can't be corrupt. I can't be stone. And he claws at himself.
Isaac draws his long sword. So he casts Flame Blade and wreathes his sword with fire, and he's just going to run to the closest one to him and attack. The spell is Green Flame Blade, but I'm flavoring it just as just bright fire. It says, as part of the action used to cast this spell, you must make a melee attack with a weapon against one creature within the spell's range. Otherwise, the spell fails. On a hit, the target suffers the attack's normal effects, and fire leaps from the target to a different creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of it. The second creature takes fire damage equal to your spellcasting ability modifier.
You run up to the boy with the dagger, and with your blade wreathed in flames, go ahead and make an attack roll.
14?
Yeah, that's a hit. These guys aren't very heavily armored.
8 damage.
You strike at this dagger-wielding wildling with your flaming sword. You feel the sticks of his armor break under the weight of your strike, and it singes the ends of these sticks with green fire as you do, and he recoils backwards as he gets ready to counterattack.
I'm gonna move forward a little bit just to get within 15 feet of these guys, and I'm gonna cast Thunderwave. Thunderwave is instantaneous. A wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet from you. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't pushed. I'm also going to add a Fire to the Storm feature, which is resistance to lightning and thunder damage. Additionally, I can choose creatures 10 feet around me while casting. I'll do an additional 4 lightning and thunder damage.
I'd say if you walk up, you could hit either the 2 guys with the bow or the 2 guys with the melee weapons.
I'm going to say the 2 guys with melee weapons.
The dagger boy fails, but the sword guy succeeds.
Roll damage. So 17 for the guy that fails. D6 plus 4 is to be 10 for the guy that saves.
You run up to the 2 melee wielders, and standing between them, you summon this thunder wave and empower it with this lightning that crackles off your body. And as you cast this spell, you see the dagger-wielding wildling thrown backwards from the attack. The sword-wielding one, he steels himself against the attack, but he's still berated by this wind.
That's what you get for calling sacrifices on people you don't even know. I mean,
Damn.
The dagger-wielding wildling, he is going to disengage from you, Isaac, and retreat beyond the veil, running away from you. The wildling who you cast Phantasmal Killer on, Sookla, he fails his save.
Double check the damage dice real quick. I'm scared if I let myself out of the accent, I'll never get back into it.
the best way to do accents all the time is even when you're at home, just do accents. Just like keep doing it.
Just make that your default.
Yeah.
29 damage.
You see him claw at his skin and begin to tear bits of his flesh as this psychic image washes over him. You're unable to tell what he is afraid of, but whatever it is, it's something he's very scared of as he bolts beyond the illusionary wall
Goodbye.
and disappears.
Don't come back now.
Should we not be worried about them, like, getting away? I mean, like, I'm not really that concerned, but they did call for, like, your blood, so...
I can honestly say it's not the first time I've had an angry mob storm through. Why do you think I have the boulder now?
Oh, makes sense.
The sword-wielding wildling heads right in your direction, Isaac. With his sword drawn, he lifts it over his head and with a heavy swing, slices down and hits you for 7 points of damage.
Okay.
The ranger boy in the distance aims his bow in your direction, Wiz, and pulls the string back to take a shot at you, and he misses. The arrow flies past your head and sticks into the wall of the hut behind you.
Could say it whizzed right past me.
You could, but we shouldn't.
Oh, zing.
Thank you, audience, for bearing with me these first couple hours until we finally got to this point, which was all I was waiting for.
Waiting. God damn it.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I think I'm going to attack Arrow Boy. I'm going to throw my javelin at him and cast Hail of Thorns at level 2. The next time you hit a creature with a ranged attack, before the spell ends, the spell creates a rain of thorns that sprouts from your ranged weapon or ammunition. In addition to the normal effect of the attack, the target of the attack, and each creature within 5 feet of it must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 1d10 piercing damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one, and at higher levels it adds a die up to 6. It's 21.
That's definitely a hit.
Woo!
Let me see if he saves. Yeah, he saves.
Okay, so base damage is going to be
in this
3
Applebee's.
plus 4. So 8.
8. So, yeah, you throw this javelin.
I'm sorry, that's a 7.
And 7?
Yeah.
Okay. Good at math. Be good, DM. You lift this javelin above your head and hurl it across the battlefield, striking the arrow-wielding wildling square in the chest. And as it slams into him and bounces off of his armor, a hail of thorns rains from the sky and scatters around the ground next to him. He takes quite a bit of damage from your javelin, but is able to save most of the damage from the hail of thorns. We are back at the top of the initiative order, and it is Sookla.
All right, set the scene.
You have 2 wildlings left. One of them is currently engaged with Isaac, while the other one is about 20 feet back with a bow. He just got hit by a javelin.
I'm gonna hit them both.
How are you going to do that?
So I would like to move my personage in such a way that I can not exactly line them up. I just need them a direct line within like 3 feet within each other. And I'm willing to have collateral damage in the form of the one I haven't introduced myself to yet.
Oh, geez.
Because I am casting Lightning Bolt.
Okay.
A stroke of lightning form in a line 100 feet long and 5 feet wide blasts out from you in a direction you choose, straight ahead. Each creature in the line must make a dexterity saving throw.
Isaac, why don't you go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me?
18.
So you are able to dodge out of the way before Sookala's spell goes off.
Oh, and I would like to specify, I would like this non-lethal. I don't necessarily want to kill him. I just want to scare him real bad.
Okay.
So that they never come back.
Don't come back like tomorrow and be like, oh, I got this snake again, so going again.
The swordy one.
Are they Cajun?
Aren't they? We're in a bayou.
Okay. No, you're right. You're
We're
right.
coming down the
though.
back to get you goddamn alligator.
These are all valid points.
The swordy one fails. The arrow
Okay.
boy passes.
The Swordy Boy is going to take 8d6 damage, and the other one's going to take half. 23 for Swordy Boy, so 11 for the other one, Soldier Boy.
You cast this lightning bolt, and it rips across the battlefield, narrowly avoiding Isaac as you position yourself in such a way. And then it strikes.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining him dodge out of the way like, yeah. All right.
That's a visual joke.
I know. Listen, we said Soldier Boy. Our audience will get it unless they're a fucking baby boomer. All right.
Or very, very young. Please go to youtube.com and search Crankdat Soldier Boy.
Please don't do yourself a favor and don't.
Oh, come on.
Sorry that you don't appreciate.
You cast this lightning bolt and it rips across the battlefield, narrowly avoiding Isaac. And as it does, it strikes through the sword-wielding wildling, who drops to the ground, stunned. And the other one narrowly steps out of the way, but he is still singed by this attack.
Hell yeah.
Holy shit! So, who's left?
Just the arrow guy. The guy who was wielding the sword, he has dropped to the ground stunned. He's
Okay.
kind of twitching as lightning kind of passes through him.
Isaac pulls his blade back and ensconces it in flames once again and shouts at the remaining wildling that's standing. If you value your life, you'll leave now.
Make an intimidation check.
23.
This wildling, he stows his bow and quickly runs off through the veil and disappears on this other side of it. And we are out of combat.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey guys, it's your friendly neighborhood Dungeon Master Mike here. Just a brief intermission and I'll drop you back into the adventure in no time. I still don't have a name for this segment. I was thinking of calling it the Bounty Board, but I don't know. If you have a suggestion for this segment, let us know on Twitter using the hashtag TroublePod. Similarly, we'd love to hear from you using the same tag. We don't pay to advertise the show in any way, so just reaching out helps us grow in more ways than you imagine. We're still working on a way to give back to people who reach out, maybe read your comment on the show, but we haven't settled on anything yet. If you could leave us a review on the podcast app of your choice, we'd really appreciate that too. As for when the next episode will air, we're still working on that schedule. Our current plan is every other week you'll get a new dose of nerdy goodness, but we have a little bit of a backlog, so we might end up pushing that up, and you'll hear more of us more often. As always, our theme music is Light Years from Home by Andromeda. We'd really love it if you would head on over to andromeda.bandcamp.com and give them a listen. Without them, we wouldn't have that killer theme song to set our stage. Alright, enough chatter. Let's get back to the adventure.
You have one wildling still in this illusionary area. He's currently twitching as he was tased by Sookla.
Isaac goes over and binds him.
You tie up this wildling, and as he eventually stops twitching, he groggily shakes off his fatigue and tries to focus on you, but you can tell he's having a rough time from the damage he took.
So, you usually get attacked in your swamp?
Not lately. The people of Bog's Bottom and us seem to have come to an agreement. Yeah, like 50 years ago, I woke up with pitchforks and torches and killed a couple of them.
That is an understandable situation for someone of your disposition.
Wait, understandable for what side?
Yes.
I don't blame them, but I want to live.
Fair enough.
Well, I suppose I haven't been sacrificed, so I will help you with whatever it was that you needed. Can we do something about this wildland, though?
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, let's just bring him along. Unless, I mean, it's up to you. Whatever you want.
Would you like to eat him?
No?
I mean,
No judging. I mean, sometimes you just gotta eat a man.
Yes, this
You know what
man
I
is
mean?
not the baby. You may eat him if you feel.
I want to know what this Lord of Stone they were talking about is, especially considering we saw petrified people on our way in.
You know, that might also be interesting.
You saw petrified people?
Yeah.
Several.
That's new.
Also, one not so petrified young boy, but I think it was unrelated.
Do you know
Do
something
you know the
about
Lord
that?
of Stone?
Nah, they just
Are they like
they shriek in the night about, oh, our Lord, oh, worship the rock. It seemed like bullshit to me, and then they started, trying to kill me. Maybe less bullshit, but probably still bullshit, because, there is no God. We all know this.
Well, I cover Isaac's ears to protect the innocent. Maybe we shouldn't use the not and God in the same sentence.
I'm not a cleric.
Yeah, but don't you peace out for the homies up top?
No.
No?
I mean, I don't care if other people do that, but I'm not, overtly religious.
Oh, okay. I mean, you just carry a book around that has religious symbols in it, so I figured.
Look, this is private, and those aren't religious symbols.
Can I make an insight for if he's telling the truth?
Sure.
14.
He appears to be telling the truth.
All right, man. Do your thing.
I don't know why I suddenly am the one on trial here,
No,
but
I mean, it's fine. Fuck God, am I right? I'm just kidding. Love you, baby.
So
While they're doing this, I'd like to crouch down by the wildland. I want to grab his chin and squish his cheeks a little bit.
Don't put your hands on me.
I squeeze harder.
Corruption. I don't want the taint.
what are you talking about? What is this corruption?
You know the corruption. I can smell it on you.
It's a real creepy voice.
What? What are you talking about?
On Isaac? But he's devout.
He has been exposed to the corruption. You touched it.
What did you
It has
touch?
embedded itself inside of you.
Did you touch any?
No, something poked me.
Oh.
I dig my nails into the wildland's face a little bit. Just a little bit.
You should kill me. I don't want to be tainted.
Are you talking about the black sludge stuff?
The black sludge is what happens if you don't give yourself to the Lord of Stone.
And who's the Lord Stone?
He is our savior. He comes to stop its spread.
Does he have the 3 toes?
I have never gazed upon him myself. He comes in a fog. Only our elder is allowed to gaze upon his presence.
Well, this one is the psychopathic. I think we should kill him, she should eat him, and we should be done with this.
I'm not crazy. You're crazy if you don't stop the spread.
That is nice, buddy. We'll go on just fucking crazy.
I mean, it's still up to you what you want to do with him because he was trying to kill you. I respect your opinion as someone female in this party. I just want you, I want you to feel comfortable.
let me mansplain why you're more important.
I'm just trying to feel God in this chilies tonight.
How do you not know what a dog is, but you live like a 2019 millennial? I don't have an opinion on him one way or another. I feel like it'd be more torture to just let him loose, let him know that he's been ruined against his god.
He kind of struggles against his bindings, thrashing about on the ground.
Isaac's gonna kind of look over the hand that touched the black goop earlier just to see if there's anything that's changed.
Yeah, you can see what appears to be a rash starting to form underneath your bracer and peeking out across your wrist.
Oh, God. What? How big is it?
You'd have to take off your bracer to investigate it.
I pop off my bracer to take a closer look at it.
You pop off your bracer to take a closer look at this rash, and as you expose it to the light, it's like a black rash that is formed on your arm, and it's roughly about 1.5 inches long.
Is that the hand he touched the swamp with?
Yeah.
I grab the wildland by the hair, and I lift his face and I point him in the direction of the brawny one's arm. I still don't know who you are. Is this what happens when you touch the goo, I guess?
Yes, yes. And he turns his face away from it, trying to pull away, and he says, "That is the corruption. You are tainted, and soon it will overcome you. You will lose yourself. You do not give yourself to the stone."
And then what happens?
Then what happens? What?
Then what happens if you don't give yourself over to the stone?
You will lose your mind, and eventually your soul, and then your form, and you become sludge.
Thank you. And I throw him back on the ground.
All right, Kako, new rule. We're not poking anything anymore, or that's going to happen to you.
Do you think there might have been more of these guys?
What do
More
you mean?
wildlings?
Yeah, there's definitely more.
Well, yeah, but like out and about.
Yet they live here, so probably.
All of our comrades are
Oh,
also here.
let's get a move on back to camp. I think Kako's like on to something.
Weird, creepy man. Are more of your friends out looking for people?
We saw the caravan.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, yes.
Shit.
We sent more. We sent word back. They will all be cleansed in his light.
Can I just do a coup de grace on this guy real quick? Put my axe in his forehead and be done with it?
You want to kill him or
Yeah.
just knock him out? Or
No, not kill him.
okay, yeah. You lift your axe up and strike it down on his head, and he goes limp.
God, why? What the fuck was that for?
Shit.
He was the evil forest man. We should go
Shit.
and kill the rest of them.
I think
Do you
should
know where
clean
they
your
live?
weapon.
Well, no, but he said that they saw our caravan, so they're probably over by the caravan, right?
Don't know how alive our caravan's going to be anymore.
Well,
I-
see, that...
How long do I have a return on those mushrooms?
No
Is it-
refunds.
No refunds.
I'll take them back from you to use for other uses, but no refunds. All sales final. And I point to the sign on the window.
Is there a sign on the window?
Yeah, it says all sales final.
And it's in Sylvan, so
Oh,
no
well.
getting out of this.
Wow.
Isaac turns to Sookla and says, "Miss, what was your name?"
Hi, I'm Sookla. This is Ophelia. Don't be scared of her. She is only a super venomous snake.
I love snakes. Can I say hi to a
I'm
snake?
Isaac. Do you have anything that would help with this? And he shows you the rash growing on his arm.
Unlikely, but hang on a second.
My professional opinion as a doctor in training is we should amputate immediately.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
who are you?
What book is that in?
Well, that's not in the books. I didn't write those books.
You said earlier you co-wrote them.
No, I co-wrote the other books, the books about the killing monsters.
Oh, but not
Hi.
Not the books about the
amputation.
saving people.
Oh.
I didn't write those
Oh,
books.
that makes sense.
Hi, excuse me. Are you a monster hunter?
Oh, yes.
Please leave. You come into my home, accuse me of killing people, and here you are, killing my people.
Yes, when they eat the baby.
You killed the wildling that tried to kill you, right? I
Yeah.
mean, all's good. I'm Wiz, by the way. I hold out my hand for a handshake.
And in an intimidating move, I smile at Wiz, showing my razor sharp teeth.
Oh, looks cool.
All right, this isn't working. What's your name, just so we all
Oh, I am
know each other?
Kako.
Okay. Anyway, Isaac. I mean, I've never seen it before, right?
Right,
But I
you
can-
have no idea what this is.
But maybe I could guess, like a poultice or like some kind of check.
You could try.
The caravan is dead and we're all gonna die next.
No, I'm good at medicine. That's a 19.
You look
'Cause I'm
over
a hermit.
this rash that is embedded itself in Isaac's skin, and you can tell it's not a surface level. Whatever this rash is growing beneath the skin. So typical like poultices and herbs aren't going to work.
Does it itch or burn or sting?
No, it's just kind of numb.
Follow me. And I'm gonna go into my little kitchen and whip up just some really nice smelling herbs as a little poultice for a placebo effect.
Oh,
I'm gonna slap it on his arm.
Are you like giving him essential oils here?
No, those are bullshit. It's like, you
This
know,
is bullshit. That smells
lavender
nice.
and rosemary.
Do I
and
know enough about
some
this to know
oak
that she's
leaves.
just fucking with me?
You're an alchemist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not fucking with you. I'm just trying to make you feel better. I don't have anything that's gonna fix that.
Okay. Well, then.
But
I
it'll make
do.
you smell good.
Isaac pulls out his dagger and gets ready to.
Oh
to-
no.
Biopsy.
Outside. Outside.
I'm not
just
good
mopped.
with blood.
Outside.
You press this dagger to your skin.
Outside.
Oh, whoa.
Before he does a shove him out through the door. Go back.
Isaac gets pushed out the door. He gets ready to take a biopsy.
You drive your dagger into your arm where this rash is forming, and as you press the dagger into your arm, this black spot
moves down your arm away from the blade.
Oh, hell.
I think yes.
So, like,
you,
you're not
Taco.
cutting off your arm, right? I'm really not, like, I'm kind of squeamish
No,
about
I
that.
just kind of like, I was just trying to take a piece of it, but apparently it's alive. Yeah, I clean my dagger and heal my wound.
Sure you don't want this poultice?
As you pump some of this magic through your wound, you feel like you're being sapped, as if some of this energy is being drained from you, and this rash grows slightly bigger.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
No.
Well, maybe not mess with the rash anymore, okay? Let's just kind of like, let's try healing prayers instead. Kumbaya.
I'm not a cleric.
Perhaps the kumbayas
But,
can be
you
said
know.
on the way to the caravan, which may or may not be under assault.
We know they're dead now. Like, we've been standing here for like 15 minutes. They're definitely. Audience DM is nodding his head that they are dead.
No, I was
I
nodding my
wanted-
head that you've been here for 15 minutes.
Yeah, Kako leaves.
I'll gather all of my good medicine and poison supplies and lock my cabin and turn my little closed sign.
You-
All right, lead the way.
I'm gonna cast fly on myself in order to try to get back quickly to the camp.
You
I'll go
cast-
check on it and I'll message you if everything's okay.
You still have to go through the boulder.
I'm flying through the boulder.
Sukala begin to lead the way through the swamp because you are most familiar with it, and you're able
Oh,
to.
wait. Someone drag this dead man out of my home, please.
I drag the corpse out of the boulder
Yeah.
and throw it in the river.
Okay.
You drag the corpse out of the boulder, and as you step through the other side of the boulder, you see another corpse. Specifically, the corpse of the wildling that ran away as it was frightened. It appears that it has succumbed to its psychosis and is now lying dead outside of the boulder.
I throw
Nice.
both corpses in the river.
Happy Halloween.
For somebody
decorations.
that's supposed to be so versed in nature, you don't really seem to care too much about it.
No, it's a swamp.
Pro-
It's not
don't-
like
I'm gonna pollute it.
Wiz, you take off to the sky and begin to head back towards
Like
the direction.
Naruto running.
Oh, God.
You take off into the sky and begin to head back towards the direction of
Say
the
Naruto
caravan.
run, Mike. You scared?
You-
Scared?
You fly through the sky with your arms behind your back as if you are some blonde-haired anime kid
Yes.
flying through the sky.
With whiskers on his cheeks.
You quickly end up back at the site of the caravan. However, when you arrive, it is devastated. The horses are missing. You can see dead mercenaries lining the ground next to dead wildlings. Sarge is nowhere to be seen, and many of the caravan members are actually missing. You can see Lenora peeking out from the caravan entrance, and as she sees you, she steps out. She says, "Oh no, it was so terrible. The wild ones came from the woods and
Whoa. Settle down. Calm down for a second. I already know crazy people came looking, talking about Lord of Stone, right?
I didn't hear them. I just watched them take people.
Mhm.
They grabbed Delilah. They chased off Lessa.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, I mean, settle down. Did anybody else live? And I look around at a bunch of corpses on the ground.
Yeah, it's mainly just mercenaries and the wildlings. You don't see any like members of the caravan. Well, last I saw, everyone was still alive, but Sergeant Sen were engaged with a fight with the wildlings. They took off in the direction of the woods to try and chase them down.
Okay, but Lessa, like, ran off somewhere?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, all right. I need you to just, like, hide yourself back in the caravan for a while.
Oh, okay.
You know, just make, like, a little rat hole and, like, get in there. Just try to, like, hunker down.
I'll hoard myself away.
Yes. Yes, you're really good at that. Okay, anyway.
She bundles up even
With her little
further.
right hand.
Yep. All right, I'll try to send somebody back if I find Sarge or Sen, but I'm gonna go get Lessa first. So just wait for help. Be cool. Fly back to the party and tell them what happened.
You fill everyone in on what happened and let them know that the wildlings have taken everybody.
So everyone's dead. Well, no. Everybody's in danger.
Okay. I like that a lot better than everyone's dead.
Well, we gotta go find Lessa. She ran off in a direction that the lady pointed. I'm gonna point that way. I think we should go get her first because she could be a danger to herself and others.
To herself and others?
Yeah, she's got like magic sparks. I mean, she's my bro, but
She's a kid who knows parlor tricks.
She also knows how to scalp a ghoul.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of, honestly.
She cannot
Actually,
be taken lightly.
You're right. I forgot that Kako has been teaching her.
Look, I may be many things, poor communicator, unlikable by a great many people who speak common, bad doctor, as I've learned, but I am an excellent teacher of the killing of the beasties.
Of that, I have no doubt, my
Yes,
friend.
so the girl should be not taken the lightness.
You head off in the direction that Lenora was pointing to, and you make your way through the swamp with Sookala's help, avoiding all of the poisonous muck puddles as you do, as she leads you across solid ground and through the dangers away from wildlife. And as you are walking in that direction, you hear a scream ring out across the forest, and the whole forest goes still.
Do I recognize the voice?
Yeah, it sounds like Lessa.
Oh.
I beat the feet to reach Lessa.
Isaac sprints in the direction of the scream.
You guys are running in the direction of the scream, and as you guys do, you hear another set of thick, muddy footprints like slopping through the muck through the swamp. And as you are running in this direction, you actually cross paths with Sen, the half-orc who several of you have had encounters with during this journey. He is gripping his side as crimson blood flows from a wound in his side. And as he sees you, he says, "Oh, thank God you made it. I was beginning to think the wildlings may have taken you out."
No, of course not. They are like the weakness.
"You found someone new, though."
Hey there, handsome.
Yeah, we thought she could heal our group, but she's here to help save us now, because I guess everybody got attacked.
They took everyone who was sick.
While he's talking, I would like to try to pack his wound.
You begin to pat him down, and he trusts you almost implicitly, and you begin to treat his wounds. "Oh, the pain is almost gone."
Well, it's not going to fix you. I'm not a healer, but I can stop the blood.
"I appreciate you."
That's like the first time I've heard. Thank you.
He looks to Isaac, Wiz, and Kako. "Everyone who was sick, they took them, dragged them through the woods, kicking and screaming. There were several dozen of them. I'd have no idea where they came from."
Only the people that were sick?
They're locals.
Well, we know they're locals. They've been raving about their Lord of Stone.
Mhm.
Wherever that is. I mean, I don't really care, but...
The only one who was sick who got away was Lessa's father.
Do you know which direction they went?
I heard her scream. I headed in this direction. I assume she can't be far from here. We should go and make haste.
We should keep moving.
You guys pushed through the thick fog of the swamp towards the direction of the scream that rang out and caused the whole swamp to still. And as you get closer, you begin to hear sobbing coming from the direction in front of you through the fog. And it gets louder the closer you get, almost a hysteric sobbing sound. And you can see through the fog shadows of someone kneeling on the ground with this wailing echoing through the woods. And then you hear shouting from another figure in the fog as this other figure berates the sobbing voice.
Are we close enough to see who it is?
You press on towards these figures, and you can see Lessa, her head buried in her hands, on her knees, surrounded by the corpses of 9 wildlings and her mother. All of their faces contorted in fear, grasping at their throats as if they were struggling to breathe. And these corpses are soaked to the bone.
Hey.
And you hear her father yelling, "This is your fault. You're a monster. I should have let you die in that tunnel.
Whoa.
Look at what you did to your mother." And Lessa sobs harder.
Do we like this man?
Not anymore.
I don't think
All
so.
right. How far away is he?
You guys are like 20 feet. They haven't really noticed you approach.
Cool. I would like to run up, and I'm gonna grab him by the throat.
As he's yelling, you grab him by the throat, and you hear, "You should have never," and then as he's stopped in his tracks.
I'm just trying to stop him.
I go over to see if Lessa's okay.
No, she is...
I go over to see if she is physically intact.
She's fine. She has not a scratch on her, and in fact, the ground around her is soaking wet. But she has not a drop of water on her.
I'm gonna go over to Sookla. Whoa. Okay, just drop the dad for a second. I know he's going nutso on her, but we just need to like calm down for a minute.
I'll loosen my grip, but I'm not letting go.
Okay, that's fine. Can you explain what happened here?
She lost control. Something came over her. She started chanting. And next thing I know, everyone was drowning. She's a monster.
I think that's a bit harsh.
Nails right in the throat.
Did you see what she did to poor Brilwyn?
Was that your wife?
That's my wife.
Okay. I know it's like still pretty fresh. I think we just need to walk away from the dead body for a second. And I walk to Sen. Okay, could you take him and Lessa back to the cart and make sure that he is kept under control and she's taken care of? Because I think they're both having a hard time right now.
I'm not going anywhere with that creature.
All right, I get real close to him and I say, I see that she made a mistake, saving your sorry ass.
The mistake was that I saved her. This isn't the first time she's lost control of herself. The last time she collapsed an entire tunnel in Shalarim.
Lessa, your name is Lessa, sweetie.
She wipes her tears and she nods at you.
I know this is going to be a very cruel question, and I'm very sorry to have to ask you this. Do you want your father around in your life?
Oh, jeez. I'm going to...
She sobs hard.
I'm gonna pick up Lessa and then just kind of like walk away from the situation.
I'm not going to kill him. I'm just going to turn him into a rat or something.
But that's still probably...
For a couple hours.
I mean, this isn't...
Give everybody
time.
Actually, that's probably a good idea to like
Thank
diffuse
you.
the situation.
Then he can find his way back when he's less of an asshole.
I'm still carrying Lessa away. Just like, all right, enough with the weeping up we get.
All right, let's just separate the two for now because the situation's getting a little bit dicey.
You're right, a rat's too cute.
No pun intended.
Isaac kneels next to her mother's body just to investigate like what actually happened to her.
Make a medicine check.
6.
The body their face has turned blue as if they were suffocated, and like I previously stated, they are covered in water and clenching at their throats for air, but it does not look like they were able to get any.
Isaac takes his hand and brushes it down over her face just to close her eyes and gently like picks up the body.
All I'm saying is that this is clearly his fault for not teaching his daughter how to control her magic powers.
I mean, yeah, I don't have a problem with you killing him. It's just that, she probably shouldn't
All right.
be here.
We're not killing him. We're just going to turn him into a rat for a little while till he cools down.
How is that? Make a strength saving throw, Sookla.
Oh, shit. 16.
He smacks your arm out of the way and pulls away from you. Monsters defending monsters. I'll have nothing to do with you. And he turns and runs into the fog.
Ah, shit.
What a dumbass.
Damn it.
Well, let's still just try to get Lessa back to camp. I go over to Sen and I'm like, do you think you could take her back to camp safe? We'll
think
try
I
to
can get
find her father and the rest of the caravan. Just let her know everything's going to be okay. And then I lean down to Lessa and I'm like, can you give me one good more fist bump? We'll find your dad. It's going to be okay.
She pumps your fist.
Yes.
But she doesn't sparkle.
I know. We'll get there.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, man.
I wanted to keep them safe.
I know.
You told me to.
Oh, jeez. No, I feel like this is my fault. Well, we'll keep them safe together, but we got to work on our control. Kind of give her a thumbs up.
She kind of looks dejected as she follows Sen back towards the direction of the caravan.
There's no easy way out of that. She just killed her mom.
I would like to pick through the wildling corpses.
They don't have much on them.
I'm looking for more of those little, like, effigies or, shiny things.
Just based on what you know about the wildlings, that the wildlings use the effigies to mark their territory, and they hang them from trees in order to try and scare off outsiders. Yeah, I mean, they've got a couple of small arms, like daggers and knives.
Not those kinds of small arms.
Not literally tiny arms.
Dear listeners, I've done T-Rex arms.
They're not carrying much besides weapons. A couple of weird rune stones. You look them over and they're just like small, smooth stones with runes painted on them with what looks to be blood. But the runes don't appear to be active. They appear to be mostly an ineffective placebo.
I'm all about ineffective placebos. I take them.
Yeah, you gather up a couple of these rune stones.
Yes.
Rune stones in quotes.
I wanted to take her corpse back to the caravan real quick. That's kind of a detour.
We can give it to Sen.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if Lessa should be escorting her mother's body.
Well, I'll put like a little blanket over it so she doesn't have to see the.
Isaac, you hand over Brilwyn's corpse to Sen, who carries it in his arms, and Wiz, you drape a cloth over it to hide it so that Lessa doesn't have to see her mother's corpse the entire way back to the caravan. And as they leave the group, where you guys head next?
Sookla, do you know where the wildlings live?
Where the wild things are?
I mean, I have a pretty good idea of where these little shits come from. So yeah, would you like me to? Can your monster hunter not track them for you?
I can. Do not disparage my abilities.
We've
You
had-
simply live here, so it would be easier.
I whisper, we've had problems in the past. It's not been like an obvious thing, but we're
Okay.
just
I leave the party and I start tracking where the wildling camp is.
Yeah, Kako, you follow the footprints
All he
off in the
needs is a
directions
little
of the
motivation.
wildling camp, leaving the rest of the group behind you. It doesn't take much effort. There's a lot of footprints headed in that direction, so
We're
you're
coming
able
too.
to track it down without
Slow down.
without a lot of effort.
I was gonna say I was gonna follow behind him because he was correct. So
And eventually you push towards what appears to be a cave entrance in the side of the mountain near the swamp. You can see standing outside this cave entrance are two more wildlings. However, these two are much more heavily armored than the previous wildlings you encountered. Their armor is made of bone and leathers, not just the sticks and light armor you saw with the previous wildlings. One of them is wielding a large club, and the other one has a broadsword. They're standing outside the entrance to this cave, which is guarded by a large wooden gate. They're not really paying attention to the direction of the woods, as they're mostly talking amongst themselves. As you guys stand outside this cave, you hear a low whistle coming from the east, and hidden in the brush, you can see Sarge, who is hiding and scouting out the area, and he waves in your direction to come join him.
do we know these ones?
Yes, we know that guy.
Yeah, he leads our caravan.
I lead the caravan. I
Since
say
when?
with questioning, kind of like,
No, Wiz.
oh, I
Maybe
could
someday.
lead. Oh, okay.
Sarge gets tired of waiting and
All right,
moves
we'll go
through the
over.
brush towards your direction and meets you halfway.
I mean, we were heading over there, and I'm talking about it anyway. So yeah, what's up, Sarge?
I've been scouting out the area. Looks like it's pretty heavily fortified. I witnessed about 25 of them heading into the cave, and then there's 2 standing guard outside.
Does anybody have any way to get into the cave?
We could always try setting it on fire.
That's a good idea.
I could try and distract them, and you can sneak in.
It's an okay idea.
What if we sang a song?
I start pulling out my cittern really excitedly, and I'm like,
Eyes wide.
I could sing a song.
I've only done it once or twice, but I think I can just make a hole
What, like in the gate?
in the mountain.
Do you have dynamite? We could...
I have magic powers.
I should have assumed.
Well, no, you shouldn't. That would have been racist of you.
So you sneak a short way away from the entrance, find what appears to be a nice place for you to be able to cast this spell. What kind of components does this spell require?
Pass wall. A passage appears at a point of your choice that you can see on a wooden, plaster, or stone surface within range and lasts for the duration, which is an hour. You can choose the opening's dimensions up to 5 feet wide, 8 feet tall, and 20 feet deep. Passage creates no instability in a structure surrounding it. And then when it disappears, anybody who's in the passage is just ejected safely out of it.
You don't really know the layout of this inner cave. Make a survival check for me.
18.
You go over to this cave and knock on the rocks until you feel a piece of the rock that reverberates when you hit it, indicating that there might be some kind of hollow passageway on the other side. You cast this spell, and as you open a hole through the stone, a wave of water rushes out through this cave and washes away the ground around your feet. You're able to keep your footing,
And my feet.
but eventually this water kind of trickles down, and you have a dark passageway that leads somewhere into the inside of this mountain.
Gross.
Well, boys, we're in.